Heidi ho, Angel here. Thanks for stopping by. Heidi hi, I should have said, so rhyme. Thinking about fear and danger right now. A friend of mine, I mentioned earlier that I like to drive relatively fast to a new friend of mine, and he said, oh, you're dangerous. And that had me thinking about how relative danger and fear are, and how often we hold ourselves back out of fear, and that's rational to an extent. Like, our brains are there to help protect us, to help, warn us about danger, to help us realize that we're destructible, we're fallible, we're mortal, and if we're not careful, danger can take us out. Just takes a split second for an accident to happen, and most of us have experienced at least a few of those by now. I myself, maybe because I'm a little dangerous, maybe because I push the boundaries and override my fear a lot, I have been in quite a few situations where I was fearful, quite a few situations where I got hurt, quite a few situations where I could have been hurt a lot worse, or I didn't get hurt at all, but I could have gotten, killed. There's a myriad of situations, as there are in any good life, I think, or in any life at all. And that's kind of my point, is that you're not going to escape those kind of situations. You can't completely avoid them all. You can seclude yourself. You can even live in a bubble, but then there's things going on in your body. There's things going on the planet. There's things going on out in space that you can't control. And so odds are, so far I haven't seen any life that's been born that hasn't died eventually. So odds are good that you're going to die sooner or later. And that's regardless of how much risk you take, regardless of how much danger you put yourself in front of or don't put yourself in front of, how much you give into your fear or don't give into your fear, you're still going to die. So I'm not saying you should live in a constant state of fear or overcoming your fear. In fact, for some people that's extremely uncomfortable. For others of us, I tend to be a risk taker. I always have been. I was climbing on things when I was very young, trying to fly when I was, my whole life. And so for me to give in to fear when it comes to having fun, like doing things like driving to Santa Fe and going snowboarding like I'm doing today, I know quite a few people who wouldn't do that out of fear that maybe, my car isn't doing great, so there's a little nervousness there. Something could happen to the car. Some people wouldn't go snowboarding at all for fear of hurting themselves, injury. Some people might not go if they were in my situation because my bills aren't paid and I probably should be working. The thing is, this is my life, and I have learned that things work out, and most of the time I don't die. One day I will die, but all the rest of the days I don't die. So it's silly not to live to the fullest capacity that I want to live with the excuse of fear. Using fear as an excuse for not doing things is silly. Now, if I perceived real danger, I just decided I really don't want to do that, then that's valid too. And I'm not trying to tell anyone that you should do things you don't want to do whatsoever. Rather, I'm saying if there are things you do want to do, and your impulse is to do them, you're inspired to do them, and then you're stopping yourself because your brain is throwing some fear of danger at you, just recognize that that's the brain's job. Everybody's brain does that, some more than others. Some are trained better than others to override that. Some are trained better than others to really key into intuition, and only you can know what kind of relationship you have with your brain and your fear. I would just encourage you that if you have impulses to do things, as many of us do, and you are more often than not doing those things because you're afraid, and in fact that momentum of that can really add up over a lifetime, so that I see a lot of people who just live in these ruts. They go to jobs that they don't really love. They complain about just about everything in their life, from their jobs to their body, their health, to their relationships or lack thereof. and then they keep doing the same thing. And that part I don't understand. If you're unhappy with your job, or unhappy with your relationships, or unhappy with your body, you can change. It's the most awesome, amazing thing. You can change your mind, you can change your thoughts, and then you can change your life. And you can learn to push through those warnings, those danger warnings that your brain's going to give you for the unknown, and then those things can become more known and less scary and less dangerous. Take snowboarding, for example. When I was first learning to snowboard, I fell a lot, and if I had gone as fast as I go now, and as long as I go now, and as high up as I go now, right when I was first learning, I probably would have had even more of a chance of being injured or hurting myself. And in fact, I have injured myself a number of times. And the thing is, I've learned through doing that I heal up. The body is amazing, has an amazing ability to heal itself, and most of the time I don't get hurt. And now that I've developed my skills quite a bit more, I can go much faster and much further and much higher than I could when I didn't have those skills developed. And that only happened because I overrode those initial fears and went ahead and pushed myself, past those fears, past that little danger warning, into a zone of woohoo, into the woohoo zone. That's what I'm saying. Push past the danger zone into the woohoo zone. Oh yeah. That's what I got to say to you today. I hope you're getting some woohoo on ya. I hope you're overriding some fears. I hope you're living a life that you love. Yeah, till next time. Peace, prosperity, positivity, and potential.